Hey guys, what's up? How are you? It's me, your boy, Hebot, once again. And let's talk about what's going on really fast. So it's been confirmed, I believe, that Xbox Live is going to have a significant price hike. Now, oh man, is this a bad thing? Or is this a scummy thing? Or is this really a sign of the times? Let's talk about it. So, really fast, before anything, I'm not trying to do any damage controlling. I'm just going to do this video like I try to do everything, as level-headed as I possibly can, and as educated as I possibly can. I know many of you are going to disagree with me, may not understand what I'm saying, but all I ask is that you stay tuned and hear me out and think about what I'm saying and put it into perspective, and maybe, we can meet eye to eye and understand each point of view and from both sides. Because I completely agree that price hikes are always horrible. They're always put a bad taste in your mouth. But price hike is something that is part of inflation. It's part of the inevitable, right? With anything, the bigger it gets, the broader it gets, the more expensive it's going to get, because the more money's got to be put into it. So there's a lot of factors and layers into this. My favorite factor is that we got to remember and take into consideration that Microsoft has given us a bunch of things basically at no charge whatsoever. First things first, the 360 era was the beginning of Xbox Live at a $60 price point for the year. And as we all know, that $60 price point has been this way for almost 14 years. Almost 15, to be exact, if I am not mistaken. With the Xbox 360 era and now the OG era of the Xbox One until now. So that's been a very long time not to have any type of significant price hike. Now, do I feel it should have been maybe a little less hike? Like instead of paying 60, maybe 70 or 80 for the year? Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree. But I believe wholeheartedly that this move is for a reason. Mainly because Game Pass, having all these developers and games in it, is going to get really expensive, because they pay all these guys up front in order to have their games day and day on the service, especially if it's a brand new game launching on day one. The more and more content they put in, plus getting new studios acquisitions, and obviously all the money they spend and all the money they're going to spend in these new AAA games, it's going to get more and more expensive. And they got to find a way to kind of, measure and balance the finances and the expenditures of what it is. It's expensive. And that being said as well, remember that we also have gotten many things for free. For example, we get real games that we keep on monthly when they give us those games with the Xbox Live Gold every month. With 360, we get to actually keep those games. They're actually owned by us, whether we upgrade or not. On top of that, we also have gotten free upgrades for the games that are backwards compatible. We got free backwards compatibility with 3 generations. Now we also have gotten things like HDR with Dolby Vision, the 4K player at no additional cost other than what the console costs. We've gotten the most powerful console for the best price in history of any console, right? With this much performance and power. We also get the exclusives day and date without the obligation of being forced to buy them at $60 or $70 each game when they come out day and date. Instead, we can play them there for free or part of the service that, very launch date. Okay, we don't play for cloud saving. It's not under a paywall like, let's say, for example, on PlayStation. We don't pay for share play at all either. Okay, so we've got things like the free, like again, like the free backwards compatibility. Okay, we get free dedicated servers. We also have gotten free, we get the best security under one ecosystem for all the units for our services. Okay, so it's not to say that Microsoft and Xbox hasn't provided us with so many consumer-friendly things, because they have. And the problem is that us as Xbox gamers, we're actually spoiled because we get a lot. We get a whole lot. Because the only thing we really pay for is Xbox Live and the console, if you want to look at it technically, right? Because they also included Game Pass with the Xbox Live if you buy it as Ultimate. So it's not like it's separated. We get a discount and get it there. Plus, we get higher discount values when we have gold, right? And we get other perks and special things that come with it, like events or, even special, demos and things like that you don't get otherwise, whether you're, on regular silver or gold. So we have to consider that compared to everyone else, we're getting all this consumer friendly services and features absolutely for free at no additional cost. We're getting treated with so many options. So and then the caveat with all this as well is not just that, but the other, not caveat, but the thing that gets me upset is that I'm seeing people say, oh, it's up in price, but they're not giving the smaller fine line details that are also included with this whole change, which is the fact that this applies to new members. If you're already an existing member, the price hike does not go up for you. It stays the same when you renew. As well as they're not mentioning that they also included another game free on that monthly games that they give you. Now, they're adding an Xbox One game onto the actual list with an OG game, 2 360 games, and, Xbox One, 2 Xbox One games, or 3 Xbox One. No, 2 Xbox One games, 2 360 games, and 1 OG game. That's what they're doing. So they're giving you from the 3 generations certain games, like more games on top of that. So it's not like they're saying we're raising the price, but we're not going to give you an additional 12 games free for the year. And it's not like we're charging the old school guys that been there for years and changing their prices right away either. That's not what they're doing. Okay, on the contrary, they're being very transparent. But I think the caveat of having something like Game Pass and games for free day and day is the fact that it's going to get very, very pricey, just like them making big acquisitions like buying Bethesda and Cinemax. Those are expensive acquisitions. Regardless whether they're $1 trillion company or not, they have to make big power moves that are very costly in comparison to everyone else. As far as, let's say Amazon, as far as Sony and Nintendo. They don't have to make those type of big deals and moves because they stay within their realm. They don't have that option to begin with. So, I think that's the biggest reason in which why this price hike has happened. They should have maybe done it where they slowly brought it up on a yearly basis, and it would have been probably a lot more easier to swallow the pill. But the fact that it's all done in one shot, like you're paying for 2 years as opposed to one for the price of one, is what makes people so sour about it. So I get it, I understand. But I also understand that it's been that price, like I said, for 15 years with no changes whatsoever. So it's kind of like they said, well, let's just do it now and get it over with, because this is the sad reality. It's been 15 years, or 14 going on 15, no changes, and we're making expensive moves to give these consumers, quality price and consumer-friendly options with Game Pass, exclusives day and date, backwards compatibility, free updates, free upgrades, the highest quality in gaming, like 4K with variable refresh rates, with 4K HDR. On top of that, we can do video recording in 4K and soon 4K video streaming in 60 frames as well, because that's been confirmed. Free firmware for the controllers, right off the console. A lot of nice features. We don't get the fear of, if we change our gamer tag, that we'll lose what we have, like the fear that we have to have in places like in PlayStation Network. Just like we don't have to worry about, the fear of getting our account being breached and stolen, like on PlayStation Network has had a lot of history and a lot of reportings and different types of incidents that have happened through the years. So, again, I understand, but we gotta understand and be realistic that all these things and the signs of the time is just going to get more and more expensive. And yes, we're in a pandemic. Everybody's going through hardship. Absolutely. But we also got to remember that gaming is not something that we need. As straightforward and cruel as that may sound, that's not a priority. Gaming's not a priority. Having Xbox Live is not a priority. It's a luxury. We have to prioritize based on our situation in our lives. If we can't get it right now, then we got to accept the fact that we can't get it right now. That's just how it is. That, if we're not rich, we can't go and rob people so we can get money, because it's illegal. You can't do that. That's wrong. So the same idea has to be implemented and implied here, right, to the thought process of Game Pass going up. If we can't afford it at the moment, then we have to accept that we can't afford it, until we have the money, and then we can get it. It's the unfortunate truth of the situation with gaming and all these things that we have that are really luxuries to us that we take for granted, like having a car or driving. That's a luxury. It's a luxury that we think it's a mandate when it's not. We confuse mandate with luxuries. That's not how it is. All this is a luxury. And having life is a luxury. Having clothes is a luxury. Even though it's because we don't have to buy expensive clothes. We can just buy cheap clothes because that's part of how our budget is, for example, right? So again, I understand why people are upset, but at the same time, I think we need to open our eyes and think of it in a realistic and adult way and fashion and form, because it is what it is. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see price hikes from PlayStation as well as time goes on. They gave you PlayStation for free, the network, and then this generation they started charging. Nobody complained. Nobody said anything. But now, because it's on Xbox side, the difference and the approach, so now Xbox are scums, but they weren't scums when they gave us everything else that we've gotten, absolutely free and with perks that, everyone else is not giving us. Like not forcing us to buy exclusives day and date or backwards compat with all three generations. Now, the one thing that they need to do on top of giving you an extra game and on top of letting the people that already have it for years to stay with the same price, that is a must thing, is they need to make Xbox Live free-to-play games, right, on Xbox Live, free. They got to take it out of that paywall. That should not require Xbox Live. That's the one thing they need to do that I 100% agree with everyone, because that's not fair in any way, shape, or form, and there's no excuses if PlayStation and Nintendo and let's say, even PC, everybody else has free-to-play games absolutely for free that do not require a paywall of Xbox Live, like a subscription. That is 100% facts. That needs to be completely taken out. And maybe they're going to do that because they announced that Halo is going to be a free-to-play, the multiplayer. So it just hasn't been announced yet. If they do that, then I think it's an even trade, in my personal opinion. Because I don't think that with this price hike now, we're going to see a price hike, let's say next year. No, this is a price hike that's probably going to stay for another 15 to 20 years. I'm pretty sure. Because it's significant. It's not small. It's not marginal. So I'm pretty sure it's one that they decided to do knowing they don't have to change it again for maybe another 20 years. Or another 15 years, for that matter. So that's my take on it, guys. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know you're not going to agree with me, but I hope you're open-minded enough to just sit there for 1 second, take a chill pill, and relax and listen and hear me out and see my point of view and see my perspective and understand what I'm trying to say and where I'm coming from. Because this happens every year. When Netflix get raises every year, Hulu, all things, your phone bill, your cable bill. It's only in video games that things don't change. Just like the prices in gaming. It's been $60 for a very long time. Now they're $10 more, or almost 20 in some cases. And people are upset. When these games take a lot of money and are much more expensive to make than even movies at this point, right? So, guys, like I said, I would like to hear what you got to say. Leave a thumbs up if you like. Leave a thumbs down if you didn't like. Thank you for stopping by if you're new to the channel. If you're new and you subscribe, thank you again, because I know you don't have to, but if you did, remember I consider you part of my family. If you want to check me out on social media, I'm on Twitter under Powerful Heba, Powerful Gamer. I'm on Instagram under C_respect. If you guys have any way, shape, or form would like to help my channel grow in any way, to help me out, to get better content, better camera, whatever, you know how you can do it. It's all down in the description below. Just like if you want to make any donations to help me out because you want me to do something that perhaps you don't have the means to do it, it'll be my honor to do so. Just give me a DM and we'll work out the particulars. Guys, I'll see you soon. Thank you for stopping by. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. Bye-bye.